guys ready? I'm ready.
Yeah.
We were here in a podcast. Here we are. Episode 325.
Nope.
I'm Greg, and this Anthony, and this Brendan.
Woo! What episode? I don't know what episode it is. I'm going to get a glass of water.
Make it a double answer.
Oh, did we really start?
Yes.
You're good.
Oh, cool.
Brendan, bring us in, Brendan.
Yeah, Brendan, come on,
you
man.
seem to think you could bring us in. Go ahead.
All right. Welcome to the Rad Dude Cast. I'm your friend, Greg, and I'm here with my two patients, Anthony and Brendan.
How?
They are having some issues
Thank
today.
you,
Let's bring
Becky.
it. How are you feeling today, Brendan?
Well, I'm feeling like it's episode 217.
217.
217.
Yeah. Oh, it is
I'm alive.
217.
It is 217.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no way to know, really. But I'll trust you.
217, and what I would say if I were you,
Uh-huh.
I would say that you could subscribe to the podcast, or you know what a lot of
Why would I subscribe?
You know what a lot of kids say, you know, smash that subscribe button.
Smash it. Smash it down.
Do you think people break their phones sometimes when they say that, like on YouTube, when they're like, smash that like button, and some kid is just like, all right, he said I had to.
I haven't learned yet.
Yeah.
I'll say this, Brendan, because we are running on time, I say today is a perfect time for us to do our double time episode. Everyone talk double time, slow it down. That's how you bend space fabric times.
Well, do you know, like, if you listen to an audiobook, right? Which oftentimes when I'm doing a long car drive, I'll start with music and I'll end with music.
Man.
But in between,
Anthony almost broke the mic. Sorry.
in between, I'll do an audiobook because it's like music can only take me so far. I need to focus. I'll do an audiobook. Then now there's an option on there to listen at double speed.
What do you think I have been talking about this whole time?
I know that's what you're talking about, but what I'm saying is, who are these like maniacs? They're
Me,
just
man,
like,
you got places to go. I do it.
it's clearly like Tony Robbins, where he's
Yeah,
like, I can't
true.
listen to a book, make it twice as fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
It's for tech CEOs.
I mean, that's what I'm talking
Silicon
about.
Valley billionaires.
We got to talk in double time so that people could double slow it and they get double the episode. And we only have to be here for a half hour.
That's pretty
right?
good.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's get Michael Jackson, man. You watch a documentary? That shit was crazy. I think he did it. I think that he did it. Come on, guys. You're too slow.
Well, some people, I'll do a slow down one. For the
But then
people.
Brendan will have to leave.
Why would Brenda leave?
I'm doing
Oh, God.
mine, so they'll have to speed
This.
it up.
What what do I do? What speed do I do?
Nothing. I had a plan because Brendan is got a tight schedule.
Oh.
And I had said we can do this baby in double time.
Double time.
And
okay.
you guys think I'm joking. I'm not joking. It is impossible.
It's hard for me to go fast.
Yeah, it's impossible, I think, maybe.
It's not impossible. It's doable.
Uh-huh.
It would, I think, require a little more preparation.
Why? Just say everything that comes off the top of your head. Just talk like this. You don't question it. You just go. I love what I'm talking about. I love black people and white people. We're all the same. Everybody, come on. Go out, buy a video game. What video game and why? Red Red Redemption sounds
I
great.
can't believe that's what's playing in the top of your head all the time.
Double time podcast.
So
Try it.
I'm not going to try it. What I'm more thinking that this is a form of therapy where you get a guy to do a double time podcast.
Well, you are my
and
patience.
then you analyze what the first things he was thinking, and what the things that first come out of your head are, I love black people and white people equally. You guys should all buy Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
So you're
wow.
just a non-racist video game loving man.
I stand behind it.
I think that's a
hope.
good message to put out to the world.
So like, rate,
yeah.
subscribe, do all that. If you want 4 bonus episodes a month, go to patreon.com/raddudecast. The episodes are now video. We have video. We're putting clips up on the Instagram. You got to follow the Instagram at raddudecast.com. Or excuse me, at raddudecast on Instagram. We have YouTube. There's YouTube episodes. Here's Lex the cat, who I love, who's a good friend of mine. Patreon, like I said, patreon.com/raddudecast. Do that. Share the podcast. Share it with all your friends. Take screenshots. Any way you can share it is great. What else do we need to talk about?
Make sure that
You're downloading it.
download it.
Download it, you know?
That should be our catchphrase. Radducast. Download it.
Download it. Maybe we should do an episode for the cat.
In what way?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't expect a follow-up there. All about milk and yarn and...
Milk-sode.
And great lions from the past. You know?
Lions or cats?
Do you think?
Yeah,
when,
that's what I mean.
I know.
This is something that I forgot to bring up on last. By the way,
We're not going to talk about that?
that what?
He just opened up a full wealth. He opened up a bucket of things to discuss.
Do you think cats?
Tap that motherfucker's head. Tap his head.
Don't
Tap
touch
his
my
head.
head.
Tap his head.
I'm about to
Don't
tap
my
that head.
You know I don't like my head tap.
About to tap that
I
head.
just came from
Massage his fingers.
jiu-jitsu. I'll fuck you up, man.
No, you're not. You're too tired.
Don't do that.
I got my bell rung today, man.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What happened?
What? I got punched in the face.
What a way to wake up.
Yeah.
What a way
And
to start your morning.
So it's not a bell rung. Doesn't mean you get knocked out. It means you get a little bit like
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
half knocked out.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. I got that.
I've been wrong before, man.
Yeah. I
Just
got
like my boy Bent. You know Bent? Dent? Bent, the boxer?
Yeah.
Well,
you watched it?
Let's
I watched
be
the first
clear.
episode.
Is his
The
name
first
Bent
episode's
or
good.
Dent?
It's bent.
Bent.
Bent, but he got
Bent.
himself a dent.
I saw the first episode. I thought you watched it.
Bent?
Losers.
Losers, yeah.
Oh
Losers.
no, I don't watch the losers. All I do is win.
That's what he said.
I said, show me a show called Winners. Maybe I'll watch that.
Well, that's the trick. The trick is
That's
this
every
show's
other show.
actually about winners who disguise as losers. You think they're a loser, and then you turn out, nah, man, you won the whole time.
There was an illusion.
Sometimes to win, you got to lose.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
There's these things now. I'd like to get back to this cat lion thing, but there's these like they dropped all these documentaries on Netflix. I talked to Anthony before we were recording yesterday. They dropped all these documentaries on Netflix, and they don't say in the title. They're all called like the fittest people on the planet, like all this stuff. But they're really all they all are is an hour and 20-minute long CrossFit commercials,
Uh-huh.
and it's all about CrossFit. And I was telling Anthony, it's really funny because like they'll say stuff like they'll be like, "This guy has won the CrossFit Games 3 years in a row. Is it possible that he's the world's greatest athlete?" And it's like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
Do you know about the NBA?
Yeah.
Do you know about the Olympics?
Or the Big Show.
yeah.
The Big Show's the world's biggest athlete.
Excuse me,
Biggest
have
athlete.
you heard of sports entertainment?
Yeah, or professional soccer. Like,
Yeah.
this is just some amateur. These guys are amateurs from a gym in Santa Monica. Like,
Yeah.
they're not.
Right.
No,
I know.
he's not the world's
be
greatest
on a team.
athlete. Yeah,
They'd be on something.
Yeah. Have you heard of Barry Sanders?
Yeah, I'd even say, have you heard of the last person who lost American Ninja Warrior Challenge?
Yeah.
Those guys are better.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Pat Morita, the Karate Kid's mentor?
Yeah, you're talking about Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, man.
Miyagi,
Is Pat Morita dead?
you betray
No,
me.
no,
He is
no.
very dead.
No. Pat Morita. Not only is Pat Morita not dead,
You
a lot
both
of
said
people,
it with equal confidence.
A lot
so
of
it's
people
tougher.
don't know this. When they shot the Karate Kid,
Oh, he's
Pat
alive.
Morita was 31
Yeah.
years old.
Well, it could be. Let's
Yes.
be honest now.
I think
today.
he was.
I will tell
Could
you
be.
this. Are we playing the serious game or the fun game?
The serious game.
Serious game?
Yeah.
Pat Morita, dead as OJ's wife.
No, he's not
Yes.
dead.
Want to make a friendly bet?
Pat Morita
Wanna make a
alive as Kato Kalin, the world's most famous pool house living bachelor.
This is
Man.
my wheelhouse. You want to make a bet?
It is.
I'm not gonna make a bet.
Like a friendly bet.
I
Loser
just-
has to say something or has to do something. Has to lick Anthony's nipples. Loser has to lick
I like
Anthony's
how you
nipples.
just describe the definition of a bet. Loser has to say something or do something. Just the broadest possible definition of a bet. Pat Morita's alive and well. I saw him recently.
You saw him recently. Where?
What?
Where?
On my street.
Would you consider recently before or after 2005, November 24th, in Las Vegas, Nevada?
Hold on, let me look.
Oh
at
yeah,
this.
Pat Morita got shot with. He was in Tupac's car.
Oh, Tupac.
He was one of Tupac. Why wouldn't you do that?
Shoot Pat Morita?
No. I never. Never. Why? Why? If you, because anytime I see like an entourage of a rapper or a celebrity, anybody, they always have.
Guy.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you have an old karate master?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I totally would.
Why would you?
Because
they can eat bullets.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
They could
You
jump
ever see
straight over
Bruce
your
Lee?
head.
What?
They can jump straight over your head.
Yeah, without
one
even
jump,
running.
man.
No, the best bodyguards in the world. You get. This is what you
Here
get.
comes some racism.
Yeah.
Down the pipe.
No, not racism.
Prepare yourselves.
You get
This
your-
week in racism.
Listen,
Listeners, tune out.
like, because I happen to know Zac Efron's bodyguard.
Yeah?
So
Oh, sure. That was
Okay.
okay. What's his name?
what? I don't know his name.
Yo, yeah.
What? I think
Let Brendan finish, Anthony. I want to hear
I don't know
this
his
horse
name.
shit.
It's not horse shit. I know. Listen, I know Zac Efron's bodyguard, and he's a former Israeli Special Forces operative.
Nice.
That's who you get because
Yeah.
Krav Maga, which is the Israeli Special Forces defense system, that is the ultimate form of fighting because they've given up any form.
Yes.
They've given up any form. Go ahead.
I got next.
Okay.
Finish.
He's
I
got next.
Krav Maga has given up any form of like dignity.
Yeah.
There's no rules. Like they made a system that is the quickest way to debilitate someone.
Sure.
So it's mainly based on ripping people's nuts off or gouging their eye or crushing their throat.
In your perspective. Okay,
No,
that is in
that
your perspective.
No, that is universally
now
accepted.
you get my guy. Who am I getting?
Yeah.
Magician. I'm gonna get a magic man who
interesting.
can summon demons, or at
All right.
worst case scenario, make you disappear in a rush.
Okay.
Using illusions and tricks.
Also, too,
That's gonna be karate because karate gotta get in there. Magic, you're out the door. Don't even know who you are. Plume of smoke.
I think that's fun. Also, too, magic is a showstopper. You know, how many times you've been walking down the street and then somebody starts doing magic and you're like, "I'll watch this." That's what would happen.
Yes.
So here,
Everyone knows the Las Vegas shooting would have stopped immediately
Yes.
if we had a magic
if
man
you had
on
a
the scene.
3-card Monty guy,
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm willing to entertain your harebrained scheme. A car pulls up.
Don't touch his head. Let him
Don't
talk.
touch my head. You know I don't like that. I'm on the spectrum
Let him finish.
slightly.
He's
I
yes,
just needed you to admit that finally.
He's a little edgy today too.
What do you mean I'm edgy today? I
think if
feel
you-
great today.
If you get woken up, you get your bell rung, it does something to you for the rest of the day.
No, I had
He's so mad he forgot the A and the E in his letters, and
I
he was furious.
I finished an arm bar in a way today that I'd never been able to do, and I felt great. Thank
That's
you.
great, buddy.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you.
so
Thank
great.
you,
That's
everyone.
great.
Now, okay.
You
Walk
wanna-
me
you-
through this.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to take you down
Don't take me down.
unnecessarily. The car pulls up next to
Yeah.
Tupac's vehicle.
Sure. What car? Magician already won. Car's already gone.
You see what he's
Before
saying?
even happened.
There was no
you're-
car.
No, but see, here's the thing. What you're doing is you're living in a land where magic is magic.
You've never
not
been to
where
a magic
magicians are using illusions and trickery.
You can use illusions and trickery to make a car disappear.
You have to plan that ahead of time. You can't
Always
just-
planning.
Yeah,
you never
man.
go to Gotham without. You never go to Metropolis without the kryptonite ring. That's what a magician believes. You're always prepared. You always have mirrors working.
You always have your
the
doves
best
on
of the
you.
best. The best of the best. The best of the best. He's gonna be ready.
Okay, fine. When we make it big,
Okay.
I'm gonna have. First of all, I don't need a security guard. I'm my own security
Of course.
guard.
That's gonna be your downfall, though.
100%. Yeah. Well, no.
My
I think-
downfall?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll get arrested for murder. Because someone's going to get a little too close, try and touch my head, and I'm
Yeah,
going to
man.
say, I had to defend myself. And they're going to say, that was a guy measuring you for a hat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, well, I didn't, no one told me that. And they say, they did tell you that. They said the hat measurer is coming for your next film, the Hatsman of Bulgaria.
Has Michael Jackson pleaded self-defense yet?
He's dead.
He's trying. Yeah. he is
I
trying.
would say self-defense.
God, I got an idea.
Yes.
All right. Well, what if you just have this is what because you're gonna go and your entourage is just you, right?
Well, no, I'm going to have an entourage.
Okay.
But my bodyguard will be me. I'll have a concealed carry. I'm going to have a gun.
No, that beats everything.
Well, the problem with that
Hang
is, here's the problem with the gun. And this is what I told my therapist. And I said to him, look, I said, I want a gun. I said, I very much want a gun. I like guns because I'm fascinated by weaponry and mechanics. I respect fine. That's why I like watches. I like
You don't even
fine.
have a watch.
What's that?
Where's your watch?
Because I can't afford the type of watch I want. I respect fine
So you
craftsmanship.
write that down for Christmas.
Yeah, thank you. I respect fine craftsmanship, and I also like the idea of being able to protect myself and protect my family. I don't have a family yet, but I have family. I have
Yeah, and we're your family.
Yeah, whoa.
So I really like that. Now, as I'm saying this, I see my therapist's eyes really registering a severe concern, and then I say to him, "But I'm aware enough to know that as a man with highly suicidal tendencies and intense rage problem, I can't have a gun.
Yeah.
I just can't have it. Like I would love one. It would be great. I'd be very much into having a gun, but I'll never get one because I know who I am as a person.
Yeah, you'll shoot
right?
somebody.
Yeah, I'll shoot somebody, or I should most likely will shoot myself.
I'll say this. I think you're more likely to shoot somebody else.
Yeah, it could
You're
be.
not that clumsy.
No. That's
It
not
would be a
clumsy,
mistake.
because of knowing him. Yeah.
Is it mainly clumsiness, I think?
Yeah, his brain is so clumsy it hates itself.
Yeah.
And decides to end the world. That's clumsy. Oh, I tripped over that coffee table and tied myself to this horse.
Yeah.
That's how I want to go. Tie myself to a horse and hit him and ride me out.
The problem with that is you might survive for a long time.
Yeah, but I'll be
you
dead
might
inside.
out-survive how the horse. You'd have to get a horse that's in good shape.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to get one of those Budweiser horses.
You don't want to do that, though, because then that's such a pain in the ass for the horse. You know?
I don't care about the horse.
Clydesdale?
I
You
hate
kidding me?
animals.
They're pulling carriages. A Clydesdale's pulling carriages.
Yeah,
They
but
can
at
pull
some
Greg.
point,
you're
they
calling
let-
Greg a carriage.
No, I'm not calling Greg a carriage. You put words in my mouth. The horse, at some point, a Clydesdale with the carriage, they take the carriage off and they give the Clydesdale free time. So if you got Greg attached to this horse the whole time, how is he going to get Greg off him? What a bummer that is.
I'll have an
Did you ever
edible-
get,
edible
rock in
rope.
Your,
Edible-
a rock in your shoe?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like.
Edible rope, though.
Oh, that's
The horse can eat the rope. I'm making it a carrot.
Oh, all right.
Well, then
Okay.
you're alive.
No, the horse is going to eat the carrots after he's trampled me to death. I want to be trampled to death.
Oh, I thought you wanted to be dragged to death.
Dragged to death, but
That's
other
what I
horses
thought.
chasing him because he's the hottest horse. He's the sexiest horse in the group. So all the lady horses are trying to go after him and to catch him, and I'll just be tied by my feet by a carrot rope, and then they'll trample over me, and then when they finally make love to this horse, they'll also have a carrot rope to eat.
Do you know what's funny?
None of that.
A guy,
I guess.
a guy,
Bored, man.
a guy that's don't. If you touch my head, I will.
He's on edge today.
I'm
He's
not
still
on-
in fighting mode.
I'm
You're,
not
you're
on
on edge, and I'm very flirty today.
I'm
Yeah.
not on edge.
He's feeling very flirty.
He is flirty.
Combo.
He is flirty.
Combo me, dog.
Combo, dog.
You think there's a guy who's into horse porn, and
Yeah.
then when somebody's like, "Hey man, bestiality's fucked up," he's like, "Whoa, bestiality? No, I like to watch a horse fuck a horse. No humans involved. I'm just
Is-
watching horses."
Is that a
do it."
problem? Socially, morally?
No.
Morally?
Well, if
Watching-
I think if you
force
made
them?
if you
Well, we're
forced them,
doing that anyway. We're forcing them to have eggs.
that's true. No problem then. No problem.
That's what you do. You double your horse. This is how you double your profits in the
horses
chicken.
have
Hang on,
eggs?
Anthony. This is how you double your profits in the chicken coop. You sell eggs, and also you pay people to watch the chickens fuck. That's how you're going to make double money.
Well, eggs are
So
confusing.
don't
to
interrupt me when I'm talking about this. What? Well, like if you're
Well,
having,
no, he did interrupt you with a great question, which was, "Do horses have eggs?" And the answer is no.
No, they don't.
But eggs confuse me because eggs are confusing because I think chickens fuck, but also some animals with eggs don't fuck. Sometimes they
Those
lay
chicken
the
eggs.
eggs, and then the male has to come over and jizz on the eggs. Like I think that's how fish go about their business.
Yeah. Fish got a lot of good things going on. We try not to get into it too much, We don't really like to talk about it because society is afraid. That's how I like to. That's how Tita and I were trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
I was like, put the egg on the bed, and I'm going to come on it. And then she says it's not going to work, and I say, you've never even tried it.
What did
I'll
you...
do a YouTube video to see a documentary.
Well, but eggs-
does it work?
Eggs for a woman, egg extraction is very painful and intense process. You can't. How's Tina getting this egg out?
With my hand and I got one of those grabbers you used to have when you were little. You know,
Oh
you
yeah,
pull it.
the one that looks like a T-Rex.
Yeah, use one of those.
Some people use a snake charmer.
A snake charmer.
Yeah,
to get the egg
they
out?
whistle the egg out.
That's a fun
And then
way to
it
do
goes
it.
right out the chute.
What shoot?
The vagina.
Oh, is that what you call it? I'm gonna stick it in your chute.
No, some cultures call it that.
Back to what I was trying to say is no. What I'm trying to say is you get like 2 cows to make more cows. You know how you have more cows? You just say, hey, listen, this room is to pay if you want to get a cow, and this room is a double sided mirror because we don't want the cows to feel shy, and you can masturbate behind it. It's $40. You're making a lot of money. We're not utilizing the whole, like the Native Americans, they'd use the whole buffalo.
Right.
I'm using all of the process. I don't know how you guys are staring at me like this isn't fucking hilarious.
No. I just sometimes when there's a lot of dots to connect,
I lost it.
I get confused.
Yeah, I'm so
That's all.
What are the dots to connect?
I'm so
It's a
confused.
fairly simple process.
Just slow. Go one speed.
step at a time.
You're on the.
I'm mating animals for food. Okay, well, everyone's doing that and they're losing money. Why? Because they're not paying another room to have freaks masturbate to it.
Okay.
You're losing money. And you guys are looking at me like I'm an asshole.
Not now.
There's a guy who wants to watch a cow fuck. Let him. They're fucking for food. Why is my... I'm crazy.
Man, I'm laughing now.
You're staring at me like I'm saying the
laughing.
N-word on repeat.
No, I would be laughing hard.
Listen,
I'll get the micro. I think when I do the microphone like this, you can see my face. I was laughing. I didn't understand it at first.
What's not... There was never a piece to not understand. Brendan.
problems.
What problems?
I would like to nitpick.
Go ahead. It's impervious to your nitpicking.
It is not impervious. First of all,
Uh-huh.
I think most cattle is the result of artificial insemination.
Yeah, those are the kind we don't like to eat because that's society with that's Monsanto shit. I'm talking about free range, free fucking.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's going to cost you a little bit extra, but we make up for it in the prices we're paying. We're charging these people to watch them fuck.
Second of all,
This is how you get free range.
I don't think these people are losing money.
Who?
The cattle industry. I don't think red meat is losing money. Third,
could change.
Third, that could change. That could change at the drop of a hat. You're right.
What I'm saying it could change is because we right now are currently in a society where we're producing too much food in a disgusting. I mean, it's got too many steroids and shit. How do we go free range? You know, they say it just costs too much money to do that, to let them out. Well, you subsidize that with having perverts watching them and masturbate.
This
is how you're going to make up for that free range.
I get it
dollar.
now.
I do get it, and
yes.
I don't have a problem with it, and I think it's possibly a business. What the market research we need to do,
Yeah.
because we don't know, we have no idea. We literally have no idea. Is how many people out there are interested in
This is a valid point.
on horse sex, because the thing is, we do know clearly there's a market for bestiality.
Sure.
Okay, those videos are made. It's a niche market, but it's big money in those things. Because they pay big money because they're rare. You know what I mean? But
Wait, what's rare?
a bestiality film.
Okay.
It's not. It's hard to get. You know, they're not exactly legal. But we don't know what the market is to just watch two animals fuck.
Well, we have to do some research.
Because I'm trying to do a thing when I eventually get engagement pictures. I think I'm.
What's an engagement picture?
Well, you take an engagement picture, you send it out, or you do something with
When
it.
you get married?
For a wedding.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, not for the wedding. You do engagement pictures, I think. People do that now. I don't know.
I didn't do that.
What do you mean? Engagement, if you're going to get married, you take pictures and you send it out to people, right? Is that what
I
you're talking
think
about?
so. Yeah. But it's not the wedding invitation. It's something
When
else.
you said engagement pictures, I thought you meant like some kind of movie.
Becky, are there engagement pictures?
It's for the save the date.
Oh, it's for the save the date.
Right, save the
okay,
date.
because I want to get a super corny, super romantic. First of all, I think me and my girlfriend broke up. I don't know. Nobody knows what happened. But anyway, eventually, I want it super corny, super romantic, staring in each other's eyes. You know, like the over the top cheesiness,
Yeah.
but then I want two dogs fucking in the background. You know what I mean? I think that's a really great thing to send out. Like, I think that's funny, but I've been thinking for years, how am I going to get these dogs to fuck
Yeah.
on command?
Right.
Do you guys have any ideas?
Oh.
Yeah, you just let them be together. Dogs like to fuck.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to take...
My dog is trying to fuck my couch. He's trying to fuck my leg. He tries to fuck my sister. He's fuck anything. You get another dog in there, he's going to go haywire.
So
Or
it's
you
that
give him a-
easy?
yeah, or you give him a little, you give him a little.
Juice him up?
Juice him
You
up. a little
spice
bit.
him?
What do you fluff him a little?
Yeah, you got to think about what dogs like, and then you put that on their parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Show him a couple dirty magazines.
Well, I don't even think you need
Yeah,
that
you could
because
do
dogs,
that.
Dirty dog
dogs
magazines.
like dog pussy. I've talked about this many times on the Rad Dude Cast, but this is one of the great Rad Dude Cast stories where Fisk, my friend Fisk, who
Wilson Fisk?
No, his family owned Stouffer's. You know, Stouffer's
really?
Pizza. Yeah. His there was a ravine across the street from our middle school with a pack of wild dogs in there, and Fisk's dad claimed that one of the wild dogs raped his dog.
Yes.
Which there's no raping in the dog world. I think both parties were enjoying the proceedings. Fisk's dad then took a whole summer fully illegally. This is in the city / suburb, like kind of a mixture, but it just happened to be a narrow ravine of nature. He took a whole summer with a shotgun just killing wild dogs as retribution, like the John Wick.
This is very similar to Liam Neeson.
Because he claimed, and this guy,
Get me any dog, he said.
and this guy's the heir to the Stouffer's fortune.
Yeah.
He's just in a ravine killing dogs because he said they raped his dog. And he I'll be honest, there's no wild dog problem in there anymore. So
Yeah, but
you
you can't go around. Yeah, you can't go around killing free dogs. You need an excuse, not just one raped them. I'm going to kill them all. You got to have a trial. You have to have a dog trial. You have to round them up, get them talking. You don't get one of those lights that's hanging from the ceiling, shine his face.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Oh, good boy, good boy.
Yeah.
Bad dog.
Bribe them.
Newspaper.
Couple bones.
Yeah. I'm sure. Here's the amount of sweaters you want, and then you put his face in some shit.
Now
you
I
poop
like-
here?
Yeah,
I'll get a dog.
Did you do this? Did you do this? I'd like to come back to where we started.
Wait, I want to finish up on the dog thing real quick.
Okay.
It's not much, just to tell you that my next door neighbor told me his dog was crazy and jumped out a window. Later to find out his dad threw it out a window.
Wait, what?
His dad was an alcoholic and had big problems.
And
I never met his dad.
Did the neighbor know about this? Was he
It was in Puerto
covering?
Rico where, like, law isn't the law. Law is bendable in Puerto Rico. They don't really have courts over there.
I love too how you could spin some stuff on alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like, he threw the dog out the window. I don't know. That guy's a drunk.
No, he said, I swear he was like, the dog went crazy and he jumped out the window. And this is a true story. And then as we got older, we were like, yo, man, I don't think dogs jump out windows. And then he was like, yeah, my dad had problems.
Oh.
Well, that's like it's a little bit similar to whenever there's a World Cup or an Olympics that's in any country that's not a fully developed Western country, they require a massive scheme of people going around killing wild dogs because they can't have them on TV. It happens every Olympics where they're like,
Oh, yeah.
where you'll find an article that they don't want you to read,
Yeah.
where they're like, they killed about 6,000 wild dogs in Sochi because they didn't want them on the camera,
Yeah.
but there's just been a dog infestation for years.
Let me tell you this. I'm not a sports guy. If I find out in the Olympics you're surrounded by dogs, I'm tuning in. I want to watch
That's the
wild
thing.
dogs.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I want to watch
Yeah.
them steal babies. I want to watch them just in packs surrounding children.
Well,
That's the Olympics I want to watch.
Also, too, you remember that Olympics. If there's the Olympics where wild dogs were just interfering in games,
Yeah.
you would be like, yeah, that was my favorite Olympics by far with that extra variable.
That's the best. If they can't even keep them off the actual Olympic courses, like
yeah, they're taking medals.
The marathon just set a new record by 25 minutes because they were being chased by rabid dogs.
Right.
Yeah, I had no choice. I was going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. They're all in the pool. They can't get them out of there for the swimming stuff.
They had this kid Pedro I grew up with. His dog was fuck's dog's name, Rusty. Right? They used to chain it to one of these like metal poles on the steps, so it just lived on the steps.
I hate that.
Me too. And the thing that and he'd always be, and the dog was ravenous. I may have only changed it there when I was over, like because
they didn't want to kill you.
Yeah. And the dad every day would go, we need to get him used to dogs, and he would take the dog and he'd be like kind of like. You remember in Dark Knight where he was like, my dogs, and he had the dogs, and the dog jumped at Batman, and that's what he did to me every time I would go over his house. His dad would be like, and he would let the dog go, and the dog bit me on the lip, it bit me on the fucking chest.
Oh, it was trying to kiss you.
Crazy. No. And then my brother went over one time, and the dog ran at him, and Joe kicked it in the face. And the dad the dad was like, we cannot have him around people anymore. And it was like, no, my brother was right. You can't fucking just let a dog loose on the neighbor.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Brutus used to bite everybody. Every kid that came over.
I thought Michelob was the bad one.
No, Michelob was all right. Michelob was, he was like a little lazy. He was a little too lazy to bite. But they all got fed mountains of table food. So these things were brain deranged. And Brutus, man, every kid that used to come over my house, my aunt's second dog, Brutus, a combination of Brutus the Barber Beefcake and my grandma Minnie.
Wait, what was?
Yeah, let me ask you this.
Oh, no, Midas. His name wasn't Brutus. It was Midas.
I was going to say.
It was a combination of Grandma Minnie and Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah, okay.
So Midas used to... oh, man, it was so bad. I used to have to give them like a lot of yoo-hoos, like the kids that would come over.
The dogs yoo-hoos?
No.
Oh, the kids.
The kids. Like,
You'd
I
bribe
remember.
Friends.
Yes, because I would be like, don't tell your parents or whatever. I don't know what'll happen.
Bruce would bite?
Yeah, Midas would bite every kid that came over.
Why don't you put him in a room or a bathroom or something?
They tried, man, but this thing was crafty. It would get out. Afghan hounds are more wiry than you think.
Yeah,
there's
so
an Afghan hound?
Yeah.
I hate Afghan hounds.
Yeah, they're like aliens.
Yeah, they're a real uppity dog.
They do. They look like old ladies on the Upper West Side.
Yes, an Afghan. Afghan
hounds look like they should have another mini dog with them.
Yes,
that they have in their purse.
Yes. Oh, I don't like an Afghan hound.
They're too wispy. They're
Joe's dog Bane. We ever tell you we got Bane?
No.
Bane was one of my brother's dog, and the guy was walking down the block, and there's some guy on the block, and he had a dog. The dog was bleeding. And my brother goes, "Oh, it's a cute dog," and the guy goes, "You can have it." Just gives it to him. It was like some dog they were using for fighting, was like horrible.
Oh God!
And then Bane was one of the sweetest dogs in the world, but he was a little fucked up,
right?
Because anytime Joe would leave, he would just lose his mind and destroy the house. He ate through a frying pan. I'm not even kidding. He bent a frying pan with teeth. I don't even know if that's physically possible.
Wow.
He was fucking. He was like the strongest pit bull I ever met. And then when we'd leave the house, when we put him in the backyard, he would sleep on top of the table. I don't know why. But he was just fucked up. He was like the cutest, best dog. And then we got rid of him. George got rid of him because George is a dick.
We had this dog, Betsy, that died. And my mom told me, my mom goes, well, the neighbors poisoned Betsy. And maybe if I hadn't spent so much time yelling at you to clean your room,
Oh my God.
I would have noticed that she was sick. So within one statement, she with no evidence, has claimed that the neighbors poisoned the dog, and B, told 10-year-old me that it was my fault.
Right. Man, that was the thing where it was just like they wanted to work in the room cleaning, you know? And it's just like, we can throw this in with Betsy, and I think we get a 2-for-1 on this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, going back to how we started the podcast with the cats being related to lions, that is, are there any members of the animal kingdom that are so closely related but yet so far away? You know what I mean? A cat and a lion are so similar, but such a different beast. Like I think they might be the one animal that's so far that's so closely related, but yet so different in terms of their skill set. Because they are a lion is just a giant cat.
Rats and humans. Humans, not even kidding. Why do you think they do all the medical testing on rats? We're super close to rats, and we're super close to monkeys.
Well, genetically, yes, but I'm talking monkeys would fit into what I'm asking about. Rats,
rats.
You're right about rats genetically, and not genetically. I don't think our DNA is
like
close.
the
but
Italians I know.
Yeah, man. Did you ever see people eat cheese? We're pretty close.
Yeah.
But I mean in terms of looks and behavior, all of that. I guess monkeys and humans are close, but monkeys and humans have similar skill sets. A house cat and a lion have such a disparity in their strength, their all of that, but they're so closely related. They're essentially the same thing. Or
Well, you ever see a nerd and Joe Rogan? That's like a lion and a cat. You know, it's
Yeah.
like some nerd. And then you got Brock Lesnar. That guy's gonna kill you, man.
I agree with him, man.
You know, Steve Urkel.
Yeah. Us, LeBron James. Yeah.
Pretty
I think he's
far.
right,
Yeah.
man. Pretty far.
That is pretty
You watch
far.
one of us jump and you watch him jump, you'd be like, they can't be the same.
Or even like, what if you can take it even further, because you could not even say us. You could say like the world's smallest midget.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
the world's
sure.
smallest midget and the greatest, and John Bone Jones, the greatest fighter, one of the
Right.
greatest fighters
John
on the planet.
Bone Jo- oh, okay,
He's a MMA guy.
Or he hate me.
Yeah,
That was athlete, right?
Yeah, man, he was an athlete, all right.
XFL.
He was an XFL kick returner.
Do you know
Greg just grabs on to the funnest thing he can remember.
Do you
from
guys
something.
know when we worked at the Knock?
Yeah.
We all, I think we mentioned this before. We all used to do a YouTube show years ago.
They took down.
Years ago, we used to do a YouTube show for, like, it was during the time when Google bought YouTube and just dumped a ton of money into like premium YouTube channels, and so they were just like giving out money to people like us and like totally doing YouTube wrong, where they were like, we need a produced, like fully professional written show where it was like, no, just fucking throw up whatever you want. It doesn't matter if it's bad, people don't watch it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't get YouTube. Like, but anyway.
They also didn't get funny.
Yeah, no. But anyway, do you know John, who was one of the owners of
Yeah, I
that?
remember.
Do you know he was the producer of the XFL? What? He was the
Really?
executive producer of the XFL.
Wow. Oh, my
No
God.
wonder he ran our show into the ground.
No, he was the good guy. I won't say any other names, but he was the good guy. He was the one who liked us and kind of stayed out of the way and just was like
Yeah,
the
he
money
was
man.
cool.
He was cool.
I don't remember what their names were.
Wow.
We were having a meeting every day, and they would go, "You have to refilm all of this with all new jokes." You
And they had
20
no
minutes."
idea, and we weren't yet experienced enough to stand up to them and be like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what you guys don't understand is this is YouTube. We can throw up whatever we want. You should just let the three of us make 10 videos a day.
Oh, yeah.
And like whatever hits, whatever doesn't, no one will see.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you don't get it. You don't get how YouTube works.
Yeah,
Like,
that was great because they would always give us those other YouTube people as reference.
Yeah.
And it would be like the most ill-produced things in the world.
Yeah.
Like they were spending so much money. We had a studio with a green
They
screen.
built us a
Yeah.
green screen
Yeah.
studio, and not a green screen like on a framework. Literally,
Yeah.
they built a full
That
wall
was insane,
green
man.
Yeah.
screen with the curving out. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
like I'd only ever seen on MTV.
yeah.
And then they would be like, you gotta watch Crazy Ray. And he would be like, what's up, my people? These are the 4 movies I saw this week. And they would be like, so do that.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, that guy just makes a thing in his mom's bedroom.
Yeah, you won't let us do that. We'll
Yeah,
do
we would
that.
love to
You
do that.
keep saying no.
Also,
Yeah.
don't have one of the writers also work the teleprompter.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Just because I had the app.
that was
Anyone can have the app.
great. Greg's the only guy that could download it.
Yeah, fuck that show. That makes me so mad.
Oh,
We trust
okay.
Eddie wasn't doing shit, and then the last episode, every joke on that last episode was mine.
Blammo.
Fuck that guy.
What up?
Fucking
But-
the fucking crazy Joker-looking motherfucker.
But one of the all-time great stories in the history of show business, they say, we're in the meeting. Anthony's got the job as the host. They go, look, we really like both of you guys. We only have the money to hire one writer. No fucking hesitation. In complete unison, me and Greg just go,
Well, unison
we'll
as in,
split it.
I said, I'll do it. And Brendan said, awesome.
What?
Split
Yeah.
that baby.
Yeah.
No, we both said split it.
No, I said it because Anthony was going to hire me. because Anthony was going to hire me because
No,
he's my best friend.
No, Anthony wasn't.
And I went, I'm going to do. I was like, I said, split it.
It's absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Not true at all.
There'll be two rival documentaries like
no,
the Fire
that
Fest.
wasn't true because Anthony was in charge of hiring.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. They weren't going to let him hire the writer. We had to meet with those guys.
They said, I mean, I don't want to get into this because I feel like it's shitty to even get into it and it's weird. But I mean, also, Anthony, the one person who couldn't dispel this will not. He's just going to stand there and not talk. But
I'd like to get back to my entourage.
Yeah. No, it's silly. I'm sorry. It's always been a sensitive subject for me over there at the Knock because I always get furious. I have little things over that I get very mad about. So it is one of the things I get mad about. So we should just change the subject because I get furious. I have like a real rage problem with that place. It caused me PTSD. It turned my friends against me. That place was the worst. If the director even messaged me, I tell him to go fuck himself, right to his face. I hope he needs me for something someday. I hate that guy. I hated that place. They made me feel like a fucking idiot. Everything at the end when he was just like, "We're gonna fire you," he said to me because. I wasn't, because he was like, well, you're just not doing anything. And I was like, we're writing the scripts. Brendan is turning them in. He's like, well, Brendan's doing them. No, Brendan is not writing the scripts. We're writing the scripts, and then he would put them in format. And then he'd go, well, what are you doing? Fuck that job, and fuck those people. Sorry, I'm also fucked up on drugs right now. So I'm a little furious. I'm sick, so I'm not allowed.
I think we said we'd split it in unison.
I mean, I'm trying to remember, man.
Yeah, you can't put him in this position. It doesn't matter. The ending, doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter.
I feel like you've directed anger at the Knock at me. What did I do?
Oh, I mean, let's not ever talk about it.
No, you're mad at me. Now,
So I will never talk about my entourage.
Yeah, it's because your entourage.
Never talk
your
about
fury
There's
is
old
directed at
Knock
me.
feelings that I have buried, and there is no need that I have accepted, and I went, we're all good. I will never need to bring them up. I love everyone, everything. We're all good. I don't love the Knock, but they turned us on each other, and there was shit that went down.
But we've sorted that out.
What do you mean?
I mean, we had a fight in the middle of Fifth Avenue at like 3:30 a.m. screaming at each other, and then we talked about it, and it took a week or 2 weeks, but we sorted it out. And we were on the same page.
We're on the same page as that there were things that happened that upset me, and we're all good. Everything is all good, but there's still sensitive feelings about that job that I have that I hated.
No,
They
that's
made
okay.
me feel like a piece of shit.
Yes, that's okay. For you to be sensitive about that, that's okay.
Yeah.
For you to still have anger at me,
I'm not angry at you.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm sensing there's still some anger at me. I need you to
Well,
tell
I'm
me
angry,
there's not.
and I'm talking to you, so
That's
my anger
fine.
is coming at you. And I'm
That's
furious.
fine.
Also, I do have to admit, I took an edible this morning, so I feel.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to hide it a little bit.
Oh,
so
man.
Maybe that's my. Maybe I'm not,
we could be
and
having so much of a cooler
I think
time.
so. Maybe my interpretations are coming off wrong because I've now
But that
streamed
shouldn't make
3
you
times.
angry.
It gets me everything.
This about Greg. Brendan, I'll say this about Greg. I got in the Uber today to come over here, and I was like, Greg, how you doing? He goes, buddy, I'm flying. I had a Benadryl. And I was like, that's impossible.
No, it was
Yeah, to make you
at
go
a
to
Dayquil,
sleep.
and I took an edible because my chest was hurting from all the coughing.
Well,
Oh, man, you're like,
Dayquil
so
does
funny.
have a minor amphetamine in it.
What's that, like meth?
An upper, yeah.
Yeah.
It may not be an amphetamine,
Yeah.
but it's some
I didn't- was it
minor
trying to-
upper in it, yeah, to keep
well,
you awake.
Here's the other thing about Greg. Any kind of small bodily change does wonders to him. That's like your superpower, is being affected by an outside source.
Yeah, I'm very like an empath for drugs.
Yeah, for anything.
I don't mean to. Yeah, no, I'm not mad at you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. I just wanted to work through it because I thought our knock days were worked through.
I thought you were just defending the Knock heavily, and I was like, what is happening here? This guy is on the Knock side, and then we hit that thing, and I
man.
went, oh, I understand what's going on.
Can't
here.
believe you've been high the whole time on an edible.
Trying not to be,
That's great.
but
no.
Damn, I would have taken this a different direction.
I have no.
that's my masturbating into cows theory.
Right. This all makes sense now because I was just like, no, man, I'm on board. I didn't understand it. And you were like, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
You're staring at me.
I have
you
no
hate
animosity
this.
towards you, Brendan. I'm reading this now.
Yeah, I don't
In slow
defend the
motion.
knock.
That's hilarious.
Now, when I stayed on and got over into the production side on some of the other stuff, there were people there that I liked.
Yeah.
I didn't like
I
our
like
show.
Hutch.
Yeah,
Lockyer.
Yeah. I like Mike a lot. I like. There's people there I liked.
And some you liked a lot.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Oh, right.
I think she's married now. I think she got married quickly after.
She did.
our,
Right away. She
like
found
right
someone.
away.
Yeah.
That happens a lot to me, where they're like, "I gotta fucking settle down." Like that was.
Oh, is that how you take
that?
that?
Was a ride.
I take that the other way. I think if they're just like, I have to fill this hole quick and show.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I thought it was the opposite.
I lean more.
I like what
I
Brennan's
think
saying,
what
but
you're
that's
saying
fun.
is a lot more romantic. I like what Brennan's saying, where it was
way
like,
more
that
fun.
was quite a ride.
Yeah.
I will marry the next person immediately.
yeah, it's like when someone kisses the ground if they get off a bumpy airplane.
Yeah.
It's like, we are not going to be flying for a while.
Ah, land again.
That is, yeah, that's funnier.
It does. It's certainly like if
let
you
everybody
if
down.
you want to
No,
get
man.
married, if you
what
are
I do.
if you are looking to get married, date me for 4 months, and shortly after that, in 6 months, you'll be married to a fucking doctor.
I smell a script to a romantic comedy.
the finisher.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have the best times and the worst times of your life combined, and they're gonna come fast and hard.
We were there for what?
Yeah, it's like a dark version of Hitch.
Yeah.
We were there for 6 months?
No, I think it might have even been. I think it was 3 months.
Dude, because I still follow some people who work there, and it's like I've just seen them grow up, have kids, get
Oh,
married.
totally.
Now they have 2 dogs.
Well,
the dog
that-
died. I'm like, I don't know why you're in my life.
You know what's
Yeah, I know
what's
what you
so funny about social media that going on what you just said? Like I have people I follow that are like, oh, like 6 years ago, like I met you at a show in Minnesota and you sent me pictures of your pussy, and now I'm like watching you get married and raise a kid, you know, but like you're still in my feed.
Yeah, that's
and it's
crazy.
like you settled down and you're married, but like I remember we just sexted after a show in like a hotel room in fucking Minneapolis.
Yeah,
like
so
and there's
happy
like
to see you're happy, girl.
Yeah.
I fingered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's so many
She-
people like
you know,
that where
backstage.
it's like, oh, I don't even remember. Oh, her. Yeah. I think she was Tulsa, you know, like,
Right.
and then it's
oh,
like
there's a ring on that finger now. There wasn't when I saw it.
She's involved in some sort of pyramid scheme for vitamins.
I had one of those. I had one of those today. This guy brought up some big Trump shit and was just like going crazy and but then conspiracy theory bullshit, and then other people were arguing, and then this guy was like firing back with crazy lies and being a dick, and I was like, you hosted for me once at a fucking firehouse in New Jersey. Why are you still in my life? And I went, goodbye. And I went, that's all gone now. Why? I don't need that guy.
Right.
I don't need fucking guy. Yeah, he was like, it was actually funny because it made me think of you. He is not a UFC guy. He's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
And so he's talking all this shit. And then some clearly out of his league jiu-jitsu guy starts going, yeah, man, what you're saying is bullshit, and I'm going to kick your ass next time I see you on the mat. And the guy was like, no, man, like, we could be friends. Like, he was like, no, like, he was backpedaling everything. And then I let me click on this guy. The bigger guy had, like, this flat face, you know, like, and he was holding a belt. And I was like, oh, I got to see if this guy's like I think he may have been like a legit jiu-jitsu guy that ran into this guy once, and he was probably like, he'll never talk to me again.
Right.
And then he was like, no, you're still in my feed as well. Now I'm going to fight you.
Well, I did
I wonder if anyone's gotten together to fight someone that they've met on Facebook.
Yes.
Really?
Of course.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Gypsies do it all the dude.
That's a big thing in the gypsy community.
Oh yeah, I watch gypsies. I like any show about like modern gypsies.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at it. And now they're pretty much big on social media where they're arranging fights and their scams are running on social media. They're arranging marriages. The gypsies,
Wow, man.
they've
The gypsies
found
have
technology.
moved on from that baby throw.
Yeah, the gypsies have found technology, and
The Roma. They don't like to be called gypsies.
Yeah, well, it depends where you are.
I don't even think they like to be called the Roma anymore.
If you're in Ireland, they're travelers. If you're in...
they don't want a name. That's how you can catch them.
Yeah,
they move from name to name, like place to place.
Yeah, they're travelers in Ireland and England. There's Roma or something in now there's travelers in United States too, the Irish gypsies, but then the actual Roma gypsies, they're called something else. I forget what they're called. But they're in Jersey a fair amount. They're
my stepfather hates them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma too.
I don't know. I have a story. Can I tell real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
This is about fighting people on the internet.
Yeah.
Man, maybe my memories. I don't know. Maybe my memories aren't, but I swear to God. See, my brother before Facebook, my brother used to be on all these like message boards,
Right?
And, like these like music hardcore scene message boards, and he'd just be like, you just see him typing like, yeah, and then you go. He'd look over at me. I'm like, hey, and you go, I'll be back. And then he would leave for a few hours. And then he would come back and his hands would be swollen. And I'm like, what happened? Like these kids would they'd get in, they'd talk shit online, but it was on like a New Jersey hardcore website. Then they would just fight each other. Like just beat people up and then come back. And it's like, oh man, like thank God Facebook became like international. You know, it's like, and that's why Joe doesn't get in a car, kill somebody.
Joe has a ticket to Brussels. It's like I'll see everyone in 14 days.
It was like when message boards first started. Like now we have a little bit of like distance with the internet because you're like, I'm not really going to go to that guy.
Right.
But back then, I think people were like, oh no, you said you're going to fuck me up. All right, man. Just give me your address. I have a Garmin. I'll hook it up.
I have a Garmin.
Well, like that's talking about message boards, and like there was this brief period of time that pedophiles must talk about as the golden age, like before like the FBI, before anyone was kind of onto it, and I'm sure they got onto it very quickly. But like when message boards first sort of popped up and the anonymity was there and they were just trading pictures, they were just talking to fucking kids, like it was just like this was their heaven.
Yeah.
This was like the in Pinocchio when they go to that land where they
What that's based on.
yeah.
The No Kids Land or something.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Pinocchio.
Don't. It's really traumatizing.
It's
Really?
fucked up, man.
It's really fucked up.
It's fucked up. There's all this stuff that happens where you're like, what does this even have to do with the puppet that became a boy?
Yeah.
They go to the land
For
of
lying.
They go to this land of like bad boys or something.
Yeah, that's where they get that's where that's the bar.
Yeah, it's
Bad Boy Land.
Yeah, and then
They drink soda pop.
At some point they're like stuck in the belly of a whale. Which, like,
Right.
that's the Bible. Like I don't know how that came.
You just stole that.
Yeah, you
That's
just
before
stole that.
copyright laws.
Yeah.
Wait, they go into. I think that's why I get it confused with Moby Dick all the time because
see,
there's a whale involved.
I do the same thing. I always
Right.
think Moby Dick ate the guy and he lived in there for years.
So I think
and then
that
went to
too.
no, I think that's Pinocchio. Moby Dick, I think it was a true story.
No.
No?
Thank God Brendan's here.
Here is you're partially right. The guy who wrote Moby Dick, Herman Melville.
Rehab?
There's a great book actually that I would recommend. Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick.
You should just say there's a great Wikipedia about a book you should read.
There's a great book called I believe The Heart of the Sea, and there was a Herman Melville. There was a whaling ship out of Nantucket. Nantucket was a big whaling center. And there was a whaling ship out of Nantucket that pushed pretty far into the Pacific. So they were gone for a long time. And they were essentially attacked repeatedly by a whale, by a huge whale. Mm-hmm. And everyone on board pretty much collaborates. Everyone who survived pretty much collaborates that this whale, that it was the same whale and that it attacked the ship repeatedly and sunk the ship.
Wow, that's crazy.
And so these guys survived. Now there's records proving that Herman Melville met and got the story, heard the story, because he later was on a ship with two of the survivors of this incident. So Herman Melville heard this story
based on a true story
of a whale that sunk a ship.
Yeah.
So it is partially now that's different from what happens in Moby Dick, sort of, but it is partially based on a thing that happened.
But Moby Dick never swallowed somebody.
No,
And
Moby
they
Dick
stayed
never
alive.
swallowed it.
So
somebody.
the whale in Pinocchio is not Moby Dick.
No.
That's another whale.
No, yeah.
They're making a lot of whale things for
Do you
a
know
while.
do you know what these whalers would do that's bizarre? Like, so turtles can live for a long time with no water.
Right.
And so as they provision themselves to go out into the Pacific, so they'd sail all the way around South America from Nantucket. They'd sail around I believe that's the Cape of Good Hope, or that might be Africa. I'm not sure. But
The Cape of Horn. There's a horn.
Yeah, I'm not sure which it is. So the way they'd provision the ships for food, which is so fucked up, is they'd go to the Galapagos Island where they have those giant turtles.
Right.
And at the time, there was just countless. Now I think if there's any, they're very reduced in number because of this. But the whaling ships would take the turtles on board and just put them on their backs, because the turtles couldn't flip over and they can live for a long time without water or food. So they just store them on their backs till they were ready.
That's a good move.
Till they were ready to eat them.
Wow.
So these poor fucking turtles are just on their shells, unable to move, just for months, being waiting to being eaten.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
not good. Not good.
All right.
Not great.
Keep them fresh.
I had something else in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah, because they don't need water. Turtles don't need water or food for a long time. They can live like that.
That's why they go so slow. They're
Yeah.
not really burning metabolism.
No, yeah.
That's why, Galapagos turtle, 85 years old, no problem.
Oh yeah, there's one that's close to 400.
400.
I think. I
You know the
believe.
shit he saw and didn't really realize that was happening?
You know the racial slurs that come out of his mouth from that time period?
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, he saw knights and shit. What's 400
Yeah.
years ago?
Not Knights.
When was knights?
Not
don't
far
know,
from
man.
Knights. So 400 years ago, we're in 2019. So that'd be
When was 1492?
1619. Now,
That was
so you're talking about
500 something.
1619.
1619.
Knights, as you're envisioning knights,
Yeah, with dragons.
were probably the end of the era of knights in that way. My guess, I'm not an expert on this. By 1492, you had conquistadors and that stuff. They were still wearing armor
They had
to
a hat.
some
Yeah, the
degree.
big metal hat.
They had the big metal hat and the
Yeah, it was
spears. So
funny
that's
as
a somewhat of a knight. But I would say knights, as you're envisioning them, were probably done by 1300.
Jesus
Probably.
didn't have knights, huh?
Jesus was pre-knight.
He was at 0.
Jesus, well, I wouldn't say pre-knight, because Romans were essentially armored.
Yeah.
They weren't wearing armor that you traditionally associate with a British knight. But
I have a question about this.
yeah, go ahead.
Is the toga the first clothes, or was people wearing pants when other people were wearing togas?
Greg is always he's asking me these
know what I mean?
questions. I don't know any of these answers.
you know
What
what I
was
mean?
it again? Say it again, Greg.
So the toga, right? Was that like the first clothes because they were like, just throw on some cloth? Or were there people wearing pants? You know what I mean?
Let me think.
Like if someone's like,
Yes,
hey,
I think
this
that's a
guy's
great
going
question.
like, yo, I got pants. And
Right.
he's like, well, I'm just going to wear this towel.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, man.
That's the thing
That's
too.
weird.
In all those like a future movie, they're always wearing toga-like outfits. So
You go
know,
back to basics.
Eventually, yeah, I think that
Or
they
onesies.
just kind of had it right then,
Yeah.
and then we had to go through these pants and buttons and zippers and all this nonsense.
Everyone knows underwear was created because somebody got ants in their butt. Anyway, I don't want ants in my butt. They created underwear. Why else would it have been invented?
I don't know. That checks out to me.
I can't say for certain, but I believe the answer to your question is that there were people wearing pants during toga. I think toga was a comfort issue, and the heat, the Mediterranean heat.
Oh.
The Greeks and the Romans were living in an area that was primarily pretty warm.
Plus, they had to be able to whip their dicks out as fast as possible because they were all perverts.
I do think around that time. So if you're talking about like maybe a couple hundred years BC. I'm trying to think who would be wearing
Have a point.
Okay.
pants.
Just keep it in there.
Maybe some Germanic tribes, that sort of thing.
Sure.
Vandals. I would guess. When did the guy with the fucking elephants cross the Alps?
Alexander the Great?
No, Hannibal.
Oh.
They probably wore pants, I would guess, because they went through winter. But yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. I also wonder what they wore under togas. Probably nothing.
No, until the ants, of course.
Yes.
What was your point?
So I think I figured this out.
All right.
Pedophilia back then, right?
Yeah.
Here's why it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Because one, we didn't know yet of like how bad it would fuck you up. Mm-hmm. It wasn't physical violence. It was like, oh, we're just fucking a kid. Mm-hmm. And now what we is like now we know you're traumatized, right? But back then, that wasn't the least. That kind of trauma is every day. You're watching your dad's head get cut off with a sword.
It doesn't even register.
It's like, yeah, I mean, we're worried about kids having trauma. Dude, look at the life we have. There's Mongols coming around,
Well,
barbarians.
Well, the thing is, like,
that's the easiest kind of trauma.
I think you're right. I think you're a little off in that, like ancient Greece and ancient Rome was pretty civilized. Like, for the most part, you weren't seeing tremendous violence every day if you were in the cities, but life was cheap. Life was it's very cheap. Like, they had slaves. They had people that were treated like dirt. They had people who, there were sicknesses. They were ill. So in that sense, you're right. Like, they that trauma didn't really, like. Also, there's a whole nother question that you don't even want to. It's dangerous to even get into because people all of a sudden people start going, "What are you arguing for this?"
Yeah.
But how much of the trauma is caused by the fact that it's wrong? Like, in other words, that was accepted.
Sure.
That was an accepted and valued part of society, and not only that, the older man who was involved in these pedophilic, I don't know,
Pedophile. Pedogroup.
Like
a club, they would call them pedophile club.
The older man that was involved in these relationships, historically, from what we know, was. It was considered sort of the highest form of love. Like, they took tremendous care of these boys. So, and that's not to excuse it.
Sure, of course not.
I mean, actually, I don't give a fuck if I'm excusing or not excusing something that happened more than fucking 1900 years ago. I don't care. Mm-hmm. But it was considered a noble relationship. It was considered like a very high form of love. So then we have to say, well, was their trauma less because they were experiencing a relationship that with a man that sort of wooed them and took care of them and I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
To that point, I remember in high school, this kid, he was did one of these trying to punk me out moves, and I didn't even really care. And then I walked away, and then one of my friends was like, "Yo, that guy fucking punked you out." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "He punked you out." And then I was like, "He did," and made me madder and madder. But I never even thought it was a big deal until everyone put that layer of fucking you're a coward on it.
Oh, like you didn't have any feeling whatsoever.
So
it didn't bother you.
There is something to that point of public, things are worse when there's, of course, things are terrible, but also things are worse sometimes when people be like, they put it on a higher standard.
I didn't even look at the
Ask
clock.
the kids.
Yeah. I didn't even look at the clock because if we're gonna get in a Patreon, I gotta get going. So real quick plugs. I have a week at the Creek. This week, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, it's already started. I'll be at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City. Tuesday the 12th through Friday the 15th. Then I'll be recording my album at Gobanaz in Cincinnati, March 28th through the 31st. Then I'll be at the Oklahoma City Looney Bin April 3rd through April 6th, and then I'll be at the Little Rock, Arkansas Looney Bin April 10th through April 13th. Yeah, come out.
Oh, March 28th through the 30th, I'll be in Glasgow at the stand in Glasgow. That's it.
Cool.
It's going to be a blast, by the way.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot
I'm
of
not
fun.
gonna make it back because I'm gonna die on a plane, but that's fine.
March 15th through 16th, I'll be at Dead Crow Comedy Room in Wilmington, North Carolina. March 28th through the 30th, Woo-Ha in Worcester, Mass. March 21st, Half Full Brewery in Stamford, Connecticut. And that's it for now.
And I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show, we're still here at Remember to Be Happy Studios with our producer, Becky Rodriguez. You can give her a follow at Human Places. The E in Places is a 3. And our audio engineer, Tanner Pornhub Williams. I got to ask him if he minds me calling him that. But throw him a follow at LilKinky69 on Instagram. All right.
Great.
This episode of the Rad Dudecast was recorded at Remember to Be Happy Studios. Production by Becky Rodriguez at Human Places, the Ease of 3, with video editing by Tanner Williams, LilKinky69.